Howdy, folks. Once again, Steve here, K1GMM. I have an update on the RxDAP, a substantial update, much improved, as this is always a work in progress. I have just I've removed the Brit presser comp limiter from the chain in the RxDAP, and I put in the modern limiter. Now, I will place a link for the download of the modern limiter on the website, and I will also update the CWP I'm running in Cakewalk. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to download and install the modern limiter to the VST directory wherever you have your software set to look for it. Look for the plugins, the VST plugins. Once that's done, download the CWP that I have on the website, and it should open up all pre-configured. You may have to tell the software again. I say this to look for it, but Cakewalk should do it always does a VST scan, and it should find it as long as you place it into the correct directory. All right, the modern limiter is fantastic. I've never been really happy with the Brit presser, and it has smoothed things out radically. So if you look right here, I have a modern limiter placed into the chain. It's the very first thing the audio hits before it starts flowing through the VSTs. I have a modern limiter placed in at the end, which slams it before it heads out to the sound card, comes out through your speakers and headphones, and it's brought a whole new level of control into the equation here. So the only things I have in this chain currently, modern limiter, the Bertom denoiser, the Reefer subtract plugin, which is a noise reduction program, the Bitsonic, which acts as a cloud limiter for the audio, and then ending it is the modern limiter. And actually I have, which is disengaged. I bypass this. I have the EQ31 Unlimited. I use this off and on to correct people's audio because people don't have a clue as to how to set up their audio. Sometimes they're really muddy. Sometimes they're so bright it shatters my skull. So I have the EQ placed in, even though it's in bypass right now, because I was just listening to some folks that had very good audio, well-balanced audio. Didn't need to apply any correction there. So that's it. I just wanted to give you a heads up. Try it, you guys. See if you like it. And don't forget, if you're already running this system, don't remove the Brit presser. Well, make sure, let me rephrase that. Make sure your previous CWP you're running, you rename that and you save it. So you can go back to that if for some reason this doesn't work for you, but I have found this to be superb. This is basically the input control. I run it in Split. You'll see this toggle is in the down position, and Split allows me to control the input and the output independently. And the release, go ahead and play with the release, but this is set up pretty good for my application. Again, this system is only as good as your noise floor. So if you have a very high noise floor and if you have an S7 noise floor and you're trying to work an S8 signal, the system will only work so well. The key is to put this Reefer plugin in bypass. If you're working weak signals, go ahead and bypass this and use your AGCT or your RF gain to drive the system. It will allow some more noise to come through, but I have played extensively with this. And yes, it is a massive Cloudlifter for the audio. I was just working yesterday with this, and there was literally an S0 signal on the Icom. I couldn't understand. I could hear the guy, but I couldn't understand him. I kicked this in, and I took out the Reefer, put this in bypass, and his audio jumped right out at me. So yes, it is very powerful. Works like a treat. There's just no way around it. When you have a signal that weak, you are going to have an element of noise in there. But that Cloudlifter function of the Bitsonic is the way it pulls the audio up and out of the noise is quite stark. It's pretty amazing. Anyways, now how often do you work a signal that's an S0? I've worked a bunch that were not even hitting the S meter on me on 100 watts, and I was hitting them. So it is practical. Anyways, Thanks for watching, you guys. Thanks for the support of the channel. And I'll look for those updates on the website coming shortly this morning or early this afternoon, K1GMM. We'll see you.